I'd like to call the Open Space Committee meeting to order at 2:05 on 12/12/23. Okay, we read the minutes from, did everybody look at the, oh, we're being videoed too. Everybody look at the minutes from the last meeting. Any changes?
No, I move that we accept the minutes of November 14th as written.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. All right, the next is the Chapter 61 process follow-up. So I went to the last Board of Selectmen meeting on the 7th, and it was a joke. It's being considered for the next one coming up, because I mean, they're trying to make sure that it's right, but at the same time, they're, you know, they weren't quite ready to approve it, and they're going to continue it to the next meeting.
Which is the 19th, correct? Because it was on the 5th, so 2 weeks would be the 19th.
That's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they didn't really even recognize my existence, I don't plan on going to the next one. It's pretty rude. So, okay, and here's my,
I will try to go, and I'll also try to ask if we can see the language ahead of time.
agenda. Just my agenda here. Yeah, where was it? Basically, everything that they were saying. Yeah, they said they wanted, they're worried about the A&R lots, and they, you know, they want to be able to not just let them pass through like that. And so they want to have a, applications to have a list in the community development office and all that sort of stuff, so we can just keep track of that. So they're going to put it into policy, whatever, and they figure they can make changes later if it isn't perfect. But better just to get it in there at this point. Okay, and Lisa and I got together and talked about the Keven Conservation property. And we were looking at the maps and whatever, and the narrowness of the entrance and how many cars can fit in there, and thought maybe we could just push through
That was Becky's idea, actually.
to put the parking in the back. Like after you pass through the opening.
So just make a drive into a
Yeah.
parking spot, sure.
So, I don't know where we take that to. Should we talk to the, I mean, we wrote a letter about it to the, not for that particular point, but a letter to the Conservation Commission saying, you know, we are working on this and this is what's going on, and what, are you going to take it, or are we going to take it, or should?
Well, part of that discussion too was prompted by the land grant trails workshop that Becky and I both attended online. Because if we put the package together and have all the materials ready to go, we could get reimbursed for half the expense of the project. So I think that's sort of where we were going with that. I think we can, this round we're too late, but if we can think ahead and say, okay, this is what we'd like to do here, get the quotes and the design and everything done, then we could possibly apply for this in the next round, which would be 24, 25. Because it would take that kind of a decent amount of money to do what we're talking about.
Right. So we'll get some bids and.
Well, if we choose to do that with that parcel, I think we should work on it and Becky sent the slides around for what they're looking for and everything.
Yeah.
But we should,
Oh, you did get it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
twice?
yeah, that's, I was
That kept
curious.
bouncing back on my thing, saying it
Oh,
didn't go
really?
through.
No, I got two. I
That's
got,
right, I got it twice.
I got the
Actually, I
two
got it
together and I
twice.
got the separate too.
I got it twice.
Oh,
So,
well,
but-
glad to hear it then. Okay.
That's your charter probably. I
No,
don't know. Weird.
yeah. Well,
So if that's what, I mean,
yeah.
if that's what we want to do, I think we should go, probably do a site visit to the parcel again. And
See
then
what the lay of
say-
land is.
Yeah, and then decide whether we need to contract with a design firm. Because not only do we have that strip to drive in, but then there would be a need for a parking area, and then how does the trail work? I can't remember, there's some wetlands in there, right? And there's some uplands.
Mhm.
But how would the trail work the best, and should we make
See
part
what
of it?
trails are already there.
Yeah, see what trails are already there. Should part of it be ADA accessible?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be all of it, but if a part of it could be, that would be great.
Yeah, one little trail down to the water or something.
So that means we basically have to be thinking a year ahead. Right. Because the deadline will be January. Right.
Yeah,
Something for next
Jan
year.
25.
25. Yeah. And if we do need a contract, if we need to contract with a firm that can do the planning according to like ADA specs and then this and that, and where do we put the kiosks and that kind of thing, well, maybe we can go to town meeting and that's part of increasing our budget specifically for
Engineering.
that grant proposal. What other people think.
That's great, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But are there other spots we rather prioritize? That goes back to our discussion of looking at our,
I think this is a good place to start.
Yeah, only because the family wanted that sign up, so I think and this is much more complicated, like the Leo Bazinski want to have some ideas for this, but this is in-house stuff that we can do.
yeah.
No, I mean, if something else bounces in front of it, meanwhile, that it's more prioritized, then
Yeah.
we'll take it. But yeah, I think this is a good start for us figuring out how to work our way into getting trails and,
Especially since the family came and
yeah.
said something about it, how there was no sign and how.
So maybe if the weather holds for a while, maybe before the end of the year, we could do that sidewalk and at least get a better idea of what's out there.
It's good, yeah.
Muzzle loader season?
Just the primitive one, yeah.
Yeah.
The shot, yeah. Bring your slingshot. All right, I'm free anytime. And so maybe everybody could put in a time.
Oh. You have to pick a time. Everybody has 15 different times.
Yeah. I'm good.
My only thing that is immovable is Thursday mornings.
Afternoon when it's warmer. Yeah. Afternoons when it's warmer. It's a better idea.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Might be showers at the beginning of next week, but it's gonna be fairly decent temperature.
I think of next week is Monday.
Saturday's going to be 48. Partly sunny.
You want to do Saturday at kind of 1 o'clock?
This coming Saturday?
Yeah. Or do you?
Yes, no, that's okay, because I can still go out in the morning. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
At 10, you said?
1.
At 1. I have a 2 o'clock in Worcester that I really want to do.
All All right, Saturday's the 16th. Sunday? You rather do Sunday?
I do church, but after noontime, I'm free.
I have
We have to do it anyways.
Monday or Tuesday?
What if we do a Sunday afternoon?
I have something Sunday.
Oh, all right.
Monday and Tuesday, 1890 free for me.
18?
18 is free, 19 is free.
Monday or Tuesday, 1 o'clock?
Let me double check on my calendar at home. I don't know if I've got it, but 18th or 19th, I can give you a,
Okay, let's check on that then.
Monday,
Monday's the 18th or 19th, 1 PM, or 2, whatever. I mean, it's dark at what, 4?
I just have something the 18th at 11:30, but it's quick.
all right.
Go out there. Okay.
good.
All right. Next, the maps, Central Mass Regional Planning maps. Everybody get theirs? The only thing that I think he missed was the fact that the areas that are orange cover over the vernal pool, the core habitat and the critical habitat.
Should have been layer number 1, right?
Yeah, so what I did on mine, because I had the open space plan thing, I cross-hatched everything that was just the core habitat, not the lesser of the more important of the two. Instead of the critical natural landscape, I did the core habitat of all the what overlaid the orange.
So the orange is correct, though.
Right.
Okay, so that's all right. You can kind of figure it out from underneath the way this goes underneath, so.
Right. If it's in an island of, that color, then it is, yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, then I wrote a list of what ones were, too much stuff here. Well, with the list of the chapter 61s and this, I could pick out which ones were in chapter 61 and also a core habitat or critical habitat. And I made a list of those. And basically, there's, in this particular, quarter of the town, there's 1, 2, 3 core habitats. And really, well, yeah, except for this one I didn't write down. Oh, New Sherburne, I did 4, 5. So some of them aren't that important. I mean, they might be, it'd be important to know who knows who in town that they could approach, perhaps, that is a 61 person. But some of them are more threatening to loss, to be sold or whatever, than others. So, really,
Yeah, so these are people by the Beagle Club. That's going to be, you're not going to be losing this.
you don't know that for sure, though, but still, that would be a lower.
That has a
Yeah.
less likelihood
Right.
of being sold off for development as opposed to
Right,
some of the others right now.
right, yeah. So basically, the core ones were Coslac, which is up on southwest Maine. That's really not threatened that much. I don't know, but it's
Can you
up.
point, when you say these, can you point them out?
It's up here. These two prongs that stick
Oh,
down.
okay. Yep.
Which would be nice you know, if that whole area was taken over by the state, that's where we're looking at that part of the trail that you contacted Will Anderson about the state buying. That whole area is, you know, high level of, you know, core habitat that would be nice to put that into it. And then another one is down at the bottom on Wallem Lake Road as well is this whole patch here. Down here is, she owns, it's the Wild Bird Farm.
Yep.
So that's down here, which, you know, I suppose they could get sick of selling people tickets to shoot birds on their property or whatever. That might be something we could, you know, deal with, talk to her about.
Is that what she does?
Yeah,
Hunting preserve, yeah.
yeah.
Wild Bird Farm.
Oh, it's Ladybird, isn't it?
Yeah, Lady Bird. Yeah, it's, her name is Jane Prior.
So she raises birds to be hunted.
Yeah. And then, of course, all the Ticino land here is, a lot of it is critical core. And then it's Justin Picarello, the one that's over here on Orange Street. He has a lot of critical and core, land core, so, but, and also the New Sherburne. So basically, those are the ones. The other ones up, you know, up here are, I don't know, there's some things to work on, but, you know.
The ones abutting the Keevan property and going on the other side of Vine Street, how many, is it just one or maybe two owners?
No, that's Lakebone, and he owns 177 acres of critical.
He
So
owns
that's what-
that one big piece right there.
Both sides of the street.
Oh, both sides,
Yep.
okay.
And then there's just a little ways, yeah, it's just to the north of that is 58 acres in there off the panhandle off southeast Maine. So, but those are just critical, not core.
Yeah, but the ones next to the Keevan property provide connectivity.
Right, that's, when Lisa and I looked at this, we were like, well, if they could connect, yep, that to across, we were looking at the Keevan property. And, it doesn't, seeing if we could at least get an easement along the edge at that, where it goes down to the word street on Vine, along that edge of the property, and even along over to where the ponds are, the baiting ponds, up the parallel
Yep.
South Street there.
In a Crescent Lane.
Yep.
Yeah, that could be a really cool loop of some kind to do.
Right, and you could just, if you could get a patch over to, across to Thomas Circle and back over to, you know, Walnut Street property. Or Chestnut Street, whatever.
Well,
So,
I think this is a helpful map, though it's not perfect, but.
Yep.
no, I think it's great. I think there's only one problem for me, that was that.
Right.
So I took over and cross-hatched, took care of my problem. Yeah, so there's a lot to look at. We have an extra copy, if you know of anybody. We could use that as a working copy or something like that. But, you know, I don't know which one to look at first, but it seems like the one over southeast Perry and all in there.
Yeah, since that's in the works right now, I think to be a
Prioritize.
priority.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. I don't know how many, I have somewhere, all the acres he's cut. But then, you know, this is nice land that somebody happens to own. So put yourself in that position. Got a beautiful little brook, you don't want someone coming in and saying that you can't use it. Just have to be a good steward of it and hope the person upstream is a good steward.
Right.
Just don't know how to proceed with that.
Well, maybe we should do a workshop type thing.
Yeah, please.
I mean, if we have, or maybe wait till after we do the keep-in walk, so we understand. And how do we prioritize the next project, or, I mean, this helps to look at that property and say, okay, how does this fit into the bigger picture, but.
It would be nice just to be able to communicate with the owner of that land, but I don't know that that's,
Well, yeah, I think we have to wait on that.
yeah. All right, we'll do Keven property first, and then we'll do this next. All right, and,
So, just to be clear, the Keven property has potential for this grant round that we're looking at, but the other properties, maybe it's not a trail, maybe it's an acquisition or an easement or something else, so I'm not,
Yep.
right? Yeah, we just sort of have to maybe look at them, and then it would be easier, I think, in a workshop, where we can spread out more and stuff like that and say, okay, this has a potential easement, but this has a potential acquisition or donation or some other, maybe that's the way we should look at it.
all right, and as far as the open space and recreation plan, I know we wanted to get it out of here before the end of the month, but I haven't heard anything from Sam lately, and so it's pretty close if it isn't already. Just one little piece of land that he wants to know about or something. Yeah.
More?
No, no more.
No, he wants to know about the water.
Yeah, and the dump, which he didn't know it was a dump, but,
And he wanted to know about the common,
mhm.
and that was it. From my understanding. He said he had the ADA stuff, he said he had everything else, so.
Found a paper clip outside.
Maybe I'll email him and make sure it's done.
Yeah, or ask him,
Yeah.
when can we expect the final?
Do we want to review it before it goes in? No, just send it. Tell us when sent in. All right. Walnut Street, trail options, anything new there? Or
Oh, no. No, like we talked last time, that's still, I need to set up time with
Mary?
Mr. Wojcik and Mary and say, okay, how is this best
Best.
configured, and
Yeah.
have to move us forward. So that's on my list.
Becky, you said that Will Anderson is gone?
Yes.
That wasn't long, huh?
No, something else came up, he changed agencies, didn't say where, but.
Got the sign in anyway. All right. So, yeah, more 61, I guess, outreach to 61 property owners. Anybody knows anyone with 61, let us know.
Would it be just feasible to do a mailing?
We've done that in the past, and, you know, it would be a start, maybe, to open the doors to us, saying, you know, we're reaching out to people so that they maybe expect to hear from us or whatever, or put it on their list to review.
It's just, if we have relationships with people or know people or can find someone who knows that person, it's just a much better
One step
entry
closer.
possibility that there'll be some communication versus, oh, I got a letter.
Yep. Yeah, we've sent letters to, like, the person that owns the mansion about, you know, be able to walk on by the pond and everything, or to the funeral Jackman that owns all the land on B Street that's all trashed, and what a nice place to put a bench. But we never hear anything. In the past, but things change. It's been a few years since we've sent out letters, so
Yep.
maybe a little bit of each. Whichever, I mean, there's people that I don't know. All right. And so we can look at the slides. They pretty much show the grant stuff from that meeting. That was the Westboro meeting that got canceled because she got exposed to COVID the day before. So it went online, and of course I'm useless. That's good. If everyone wants to look it over, get educated.
Well, just the state agency works as a pass-through, basically to collect information and to coordinate everything. But this is federal money that comes in. So I got the impression that some of the requirements are the bar's a little higher than some of the other grant systems, but that's why I was saying it's great that we can start a year in advance to look at this possible project, because
So much involved.
yeah, there's a lot involved. If it was an acquisition, you have to have something called Yellow Book appraisal, which a lot of appraisers don't want to even touch. So, you know, then it's a whole finding somebody and then getting the appraisal paid for, because a lot of these are reimbursable grants. You can't spend money before you have a contract in hand from the state. And so you really have to also look at the strategy you need if you have to go to town meeting, plus this, plus this, plus this. But this grant round, this one, I can't remember, they said when they announce it, but then you have almost 2 years to complete it.
Correct.
So they do give you a good chunk of time to complete it, but you just have to really be careful that if you have to spend money if you have to spend money to apply for the grant, that you know where that money's coming from, and then that's why it's good, I think, to have a consultant or a planning operation be able to come in and say, okay, these are all the points you want to put in, and these are the costs associated, and blah, 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 so you don't miss anything.
Yeah, waste your time.
You have to be careful too of what the grant amount is, what your project total is, because it's only 50% reimbursement, but the minimum amount that you can get is $50,000, maximum is $1 million. So you can have a $2 million project and you'll get reimbursed $1 million. If you go to a $4 million project,
Yeah.
you're not getting reimbursed too.
You just get one.
It's a percentage of it, so.
Or if your project comes in at less than 50 grand, you're not going to get anything, so.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, it has to be, that's why It's really
Yeah.
important to have.
know what's there.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good for us to have a plan for that property regardless.
Right.
So maybe
Yes.
if, you know, if all the expenses line up and this particular grant doesn't work, there are others we could look at. That way we'll have everything together.
Correct.
Yeah, and we could do that for each property or whatever.
Mhm.
project. Okay, good. All right, next is the committees that we need to either help out with or try to pull together. Did you follow through with any, you read the master plan?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I have the books.
Yep,
And
yep.
I'm started slugging through it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything.
Put you to
from-
sleep at night?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from anybody yet.
So Gordon, what does that mean?
What is what?
You haven't heard anything from anybody?
From the committee, that, when are they meeting, you know?
And they know that
what's
you're
the-
interested?
I got a letter,
Yeah,
an email
yeah,
from her.
right.
From, who was it?
You got a letter, email from Jen,
Yeah.
but did you confirm that you want to be on the committee?
He wasn't sure until he read it over the thing, right?
Hmm. I thought that meant that it was all set, you know, with the letter. So I'll follow up.
Because not at the meeting you went to, the meeting before, the selectmen said they were waiting for us and for the Conservation Commission
Yeah.
to have a volunteer.
So who do I talk to?
All on the left. Jen?
Just respond to the letter, yeah?
Or you can just go down and talk to her before you leave.
Yeah.
It's either Jen or Lisa Freeman. In the selectmen's office.
Okay, then we want a Trails Committee and land stewards, and we really should get the CPA going, so we have more money. As Lisa said, the town of Mendon has millions just sitting there.
Well, last meeting, I volunteered to write a little bit about stewards, I guess, and volunteers. And I gave the waiver to Jen to post online. I didn't check that, but
It is online.
it's the same waiver that the Conservation Commission uses when they ask volunteers to do work.
Oh, yeah.
So that's in place. It's just,
I think that volunteer waiver needs to be fixed a little bit.
so can you offer suggestions?
Well, they've got it like pre-filled out with what it should be. Now, you just think it should be your name, address, and then not this 0000000, but your phone number. It just needs to be a blank
Empty,
space to
yeah.
fill it in. Yes.
Oh.
I will revamp that and send it to you, and guys, it just,
Yeah.
and the town of Douglas, they got in there, so like, okay, so AKA, the town of Douglas is also known as this, and it just,
Huh?
very, it's
Yeah.
convoluted.
Okay.
It just, it needs some
I mean,
tweaking.
I think the land trust has them too. Just make it different.
I mean, the wording on the bottom is fine, it's just that the stuff at the top there is like, really don't leave a space for it to fill in a name, because it just says last name, whatever, instead of a line to fill it in, or just leave it blank. I was looking at, oh yeah,
So it doesn't say John Doe in it there already?
so,
Give us-
yeah, volunteer, legal name, also known as the volunteer, and located at address, city, state, zip code, then your phone number, and they got all these zeros, your email address, and then the organization. So under here, hold harmless the organization, so the organization is the town of Douglas, AKA the organization. So this just needs to be,
Cleaned up.
yes, this should be a paragraph to know what the, this is what this means, the volunteer, AKA the volunteer.
That's
don't need
legalese, though.
No,
That's
not-
legalese of
has to be
dotting everything,
formatted.
underlining it.
You can still have that in there, but not set up like that.
Yeah.
You can have that in a short little thing up the top.
Yeah,
Organization,
yeah. That
or
makes
the
it all
Town of
sound
Douglas, also known as the organization down below. It's- And it's easy enough, actually, where it says organization down there, just to put in the Town of Douglas. What difference does it make?
Yeah. I like it.
It's a short.
The volunteer also is volunteer.
I know.
All right.
So I also said I'd do that for the CPA. So so we can put it in the little newspapers. One of those deadlines is Friday, I think, at noon. So we can have a blurb about the CPA and we can have a blurb about trail stewardship and use the what is it, open space at douglasma.gov or something. That email
Yep.
and see if we get any folks interested.
Paper and on, yeah, Gordon said he would post it on Facebook.
Yes.
I'm going to do that.
Yep.
Well, I was going to send it
They're
to you
right.
first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then if you could do that.
All right, so we already kind of covered the planned projects to get money for the town meeting. We'll just start with the Kevin and figure out how to proceed.
But if we think of any other needs we have that we, for money, I mean,
Well, I don't know,
I thought we bought a better GIS system for the town, but I don't have any idea if anybody knows how to use it at this point, so I don't.
is that physical GISing
No.
or
the
just his map thing?
Mapping, yeah.
Or online? It's not to go out,
No.
it's not outside of
It's not
map,
a
yeah.
Trimble or anything, yeah.
Yeah, because Matt was learning how to do that, so we don't know how that went.
We don't know where Matt is either. No word.
Yeah, this probably won't require money. Put that on a new business.
All right. Old business? We cover everything?
Oh, but did you have something with the Mumford Road
Oh, yeah.
that you wanted to?
Yeah, because Sue and I did the walk. There are a lot of trees down there.
Yeah, huh?
Yes,
A lot of deadfalls.
quite. And a couple of them are going to be a little tricky to get down.
Yep.
I think I counted 9, 10. 2 of them are tricky, the rest of most are on the ground.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I was kind of very curious about where the bounds were, so I got the GPS map, and then I went on to Mass GIS, and so I overlaid the property things, lines over the other
Yep, top.
parcel of where I had GPSed it. So surprisingly enough, so where it says number 1 in there, that's a spot that I had added a waypoint when Sue and I were walking. There was another trail that went off in that direction, and I didn't know if that was on whose property it was, but now that I'm seeing this on here, we actually have room. I'd like to go back out there and GPS where that trail goes, because we have enough room to play down in the lower section underneath the Mumford Street Conservation Area to do another loop in there off of that
You could
easily.
almost do a figure 8.
And also on the upper, at the very top of that, I could do another loop there, almost up to Manchog Street. And technically, it may not be a bad idea. I'd have to go see what it looks like on Manchog Street. You could put an entrance in from Manchog Street to that property.
It does look wet, I think, down there.
Well, I don't know. The wetlands it shows on the map here, it's a ways away from the,
But when you're on the street, it's all wet.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I just, like I
It's like
said,
a low
you know,
along the road. 'Cause
you
there's-
could dream on the map, but real life is,
No, but I think that's good. I think we need to look at that because it would be, I just think, it's a swamp in there, but kind more towards this way, it might be okay. Thank the Lord.
It might be a.
I know that, it just, I'm like, oops, like I said, what's, and then her and I were on a trail that ended up coming up to that driveway to that property that says number 79 underneath there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that doesn't, but you found that, a loop, a trail before that that goes back to the beginning?
wait, see where the Mumford Road, is that, what do you mean, that, we were down here, right?
Yeah, but you can, instead of going straight, you should take, if
Yeah.
you're going that way towards 79, you should take
All right.
a right to go back to the beginning.
Well, there is a right there, that's where we
That's-
went down and then turned around and we went back. And they crossed the stream right there and went right back where the two dots were. But again, I'm also kind of curious to explore where, before we hit that driveway, to see what it looks like crossing the stream in that area,
Yeah.
just out of curiosity.
We were like, whoa, and a no trespassing sign at someone's road, at Mumford Road, at the House Hilly, and then we're like, oh, it's a driveway. Yeah,
But sometimes the water fluctuates a lot in there too, so it's great habitat though.
yeah, just to walk along the edge of the river was really nice.
Yeah, and that was something else when we first went in there. Sue and I said,
Why is the trail
up a
away?
trail to the left, it's easy enough to actually move that trail a little bit closer to the river. Because it's dry, it's easy clearing, and I'm like, this is much nicer walking along here as opposed to, it's like, why is it over here instead of up there?
But it was last May, I think it was.
We're washed
I
out.
mean, you saw all the mountain laurel in there. It was spectacular. Just spectacular.
Yeah, but, you know, trees, dead trees need to be cleaned up, and some of that mountain laurel needs to be cut back, and it's getting overgrown.
Right.
So, but this could all be volunteer work, very easy.
So this could be a good first project, actually.
Yes, that could just,
You know?
again, explore out there and whatnot, and move our trail over a little bit closer, and see where we can expand it, then clean up what's there.
Okay.
So a lot of area over to the right too that hasn't even been, I mean, this is just a small trail on a big piece of land.
Yep. Well, that one, there was a trail that went off to the right down this way.
Right.
We didn't,
Yeah.
I thought it was private property. I didn't realize, like, oh, no,
Yeah, it's just one house along there.
we're still, so that needs to also be GPS to find out
Then-
what that is.
Then we
Where it
looked
goes.
across, like where we parked, we kind of looked across the street and said, wow, that's an access to over towards the Duval Road project. I have to look at my map to see.
Yeah, it was on the other, was it number 88 maybe?
It could be.
Yeah, well, that's the brook that runs through there. That is going to be the one that causes all the problems for the Duval Road thing. But I know somebody that lives right near there and she says there's absolutely nothing going on. So,
So if you look along Manjog Road, there's that 142 envelope.
Yep.
That's a little house that no one lives in.
oh, really?
Because across the street is a barn that they finally took down. But, I don't know, that 142, that would be a great parking area. I don't know how long that house can continue or whatever, but I don't know. Nobody lives there.
Get up online. through, pop a kayak in the river, and come take it out at Mary Lynn's property down. All right, anything else?
Your new business?
Vicki had some new business?
No, I didn't know if this was old or new.
Okay.
Probably old since we had,
Yeah.
said we were going to do the sidewalk on it.
I
so.
thought you were going to bring something else up.
Nope.
Well,
Did we want to look at our, the
oh, the high priorities?
priorities on the goals?
Well, before we do that, I got two things.
Okay.
Because one, we talked about, do we need to establish a Dropbox? Because all of us take pictures and everything, and then if we need to go back to find them for grant applications or anything else, we have nothing in a central place. So,
Take me out of that, but I don't know. Can't even
I
get
do,
to my contact
I have
list.
files on my computer for, like, I started a file now for the Cleo Maziski parcel.
Yeah.
I got a Keven parcel folder file.
but what do you prefer to use? Like, there's a shared Google Drive, or create a Dropbox so we can put things there, or see if the town has any capacity for us?
Doesn't matter to me.
I'll ask Jen. So my other item, Sue brought this to my attention. Sue found that somewhere along the line, the property known as Castle Caves was transferred to the town. So we have to verify that that is in fact correct, probably due to taxes. But from my perspective, I would like to see that classified as Chapter 97 land, which is
Yeah.
conservation and permanently protected.
Wow.
You know,
Oh,
that's up near you.
You just stumbled on it, really, right?
Well,
Well,
yeah.
it's at the end of this development now.
Where,
Got up by
Up
my
it.
neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
exactly where is that?
but Castle
North
Court.
Street and Brown Road.
Yeah,
It's in here.
I thought it sounded
This is like
familiar.
unpaid taxes, so that's where it is. So to get there, you go in Brown Road, and it's just amazing caves in there and cliffs and stuff like that.
Ledges, right there.
Yeah, this is, you're the one that said this is for sale, right? Or this has been bought. You know who owns it is, the person that owns Paris Beach. Interesting, huh? Yeah, it's right out your back door. Where
Which way
are
am
we?
I going?
Got it.
Road. Okay, so that's.
It's at the end of Brown Road.
This
it's way in the
back.
This is all Douglas Town.
Interesting.
Yeah,
didn't
so
know
that's
that was
it.
there.
That one and this one.
It's listed as Castle Court.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Open that, come on.
Castle Caves? I just
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
quite, I
my
didn't
wall.
realize it was there. So, yeah, if that is,
There we go, Town of Douglas.
Yeah,
we can go verify that today.
yeah.
But can you
They
get
put
into
that under
it?
Conservation Commission.
I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, okay, can.
There's access.
I'm just wondering if there was a house at the end of Brown Road, but
There
there
is.
isn't. Is there?
There's
Yeah.
a house part way down, isn't it, at
I
the
think he's
end?
partly in, but he's in
Sutton, right?
Sutton. I
Yeah.
think the house is in Sutton, Mr. Slocum.
It's on the right
Oh,
side.
I see there, yeah.
So it might not, I'm not sure there's great access to it and everything, but it's just a.
Yeah.
It's a unique, yes.
Yeah.
Really unique property, which just,
Yeah, put it into the right hands.
yeah.
Cool.
But how can you get, how do you get there?
We parked in Brown Road and walked
Walked
in.
in.
Yeah, but, you know,
Without risk
Yeah.
of being shot?
well, yeah,
It's a
I mean,
chapter
during gun season,
Chapter
yeah.
97, yeah.
Well, I meant by the homeowner.
Protected.
Yeah, probably
So I
should
think we'd have
ask.
to put it on the town meeting warrant. I think the town has to vote on that. But if we have
Sounds
conservation behind it and the rest of us, I think.
And it's Caswell Brook and
I'll
wetlands.
blow up the ledges.
I want to see them.
Yeah. Who owns the land previous to it, to be able to walk through? That's industrial land, I think. Just, yeah.
It's all industrial. That's what shows on this map. Cool.
We can talk about that later.
That was great. She just stumbled on it, really.
Yeah.
Because we had been trying for years to work with the owner.
It's right behind my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
I
right.
could walk through this
I
by
got a compass. I'll bring it.
and a GPS.
911. I'll bring a flare. All right. So should we write a letter to the Conservation Commission or something about that?
Well, I think we need to confirm,
That-
we can go talk to Chris and confirm that that's the case, and then we should find out what the process is. But I think it's fairly straightforward.
all right.
So do you want to go ask him, Sue?
Okay, I will do that. Likes to see me after meetings, like, what's going on with this man? Like the one in the opposite corner, he's like, I have no idea. The door closes quickly as I come down the hall. All right, no more?
Unless we wanted to just review the high
Oh,
priorities,
yeah. Yep.
see if it matches up with what, some of the stuff we're working right now.
Well, I put noise bylaw at the top of the list. It must have been a leaf blowing day. But I checked off 5 of them that I thought would be interesting to me, like expand and connect trails, partner with others to acquire land, identify and acquire town beach, anything that was mapping oriented, or identify and prioritize habitat preservation, and prioritize 61 parcels. But a lot of them are just involve other people,
Yep.
like the noise control, the tree protection, lighting. I mean, some of the ones that are simple, that go to maybe just, like, we could group them as far as what other parties are to be involved with it, like if it's building something at, you know, ADA, something at the playground or at the, mainly at Soldiers Field, then that's more carpentry and things like that, that there's something that would be more highway department.
Well, I think CPA is on our list, and the only thing with CPA is that if you don't do it in, basically have to do it in a presidential election year.
And this is it, yeah.
24 is it, because otherwise you have such a small pool of voters that it basically increases the likelihood it will be defeated. So the more voters who come out, the more likely it.
And then we'll have more money to do all these things, yep. But, you know, if people look through this and see if there's something that, you know, you want to grab at or whatever. I just wrote the list of all the highest priorities.
The Community Preservation Act is up there.
Yeah.
But we need a whole nother committee to work on that. That's why we're going to put the little
Yep.
blurb out there. 'Cause
Okay, that will be getting going on that then.
it really needs to be separate.
Okay, well, I have all the information from the last time we tried to push the CPA through, but it might be dated,
A lot of it's online though.
yeah.
Stuart's, yeah, the CPA.
So if everybody Google CPA and see what they think and what, how they can
If we can get
contribute.
a bunch more people to be a committee and to work with us, and Mendon, the woman who has the committee and everything, she's willing to come out and talk to us, so,
Ian?
yeah.
Who's that?
And
Ian Mazar. Yep.
they've done a lot with it.
Yeah. They need it, just to save anything they've got in Mendon.
But they did their whole, like they did some kind of stormwater management and a whole re-landscaping between the old library and the town hall and the police station, and it's just really pretty, really nice now. But that was through CPA funds.
I think people need to see examples of what can be accomplished.
Right, that's a good idea, to just, to go, wow, I like that. Well, guess what brought that in, your vote or not?
These improvements, like Mendon would be a perfect example.
Right.
This is what has been able to be accomplished. It's close enough to us that,
Upton also has it. And then Northbridge just voted it, and then part of the funds they used to acquire Castle Hill. It's almost 100 acres of open space and park, connected parks.
Yep.
So,
So advantages and comparisons.
alrighty.
All right, so how's January 9th next year?
Sounds good.
2 p.m.
January what? 9th, did you say? Book already.
I already have it on my calendar.
All right. I make a motion to adjourn?
Second that, 3:01.
All in favor?
Aye.